From the lens of the Gospel of Matthew chapter 15 verses 21 to 28, with Jesus, we can become more inclusive in the way we relate with one another, accepting by the differences of people we encounter. The Church is an inclusive community of hospitality, fellowship, and solidarity. This means that there is no place for violence against women in our communities, or gender discrimination, inside or outside the Church. This means that there is no place for the practice of caste or racial discrimination. The story of the Canaanite woman is a reminder and an eye-opener that God's love is for all. Jesus is the Messiah for all nations. God is present for all who are faithful, regardless of class, race, ethnicity, gender, and age. God's gifts are given to us all, not only because of our qualifications, cultures, races, affiliations, and religion, social status. The Canaanite woman's story shows the inclusion of other nations in the saving plan of God. Jesus Christ breaks down the barrier separating the Jews from Gentiles. Jesus' mission was to reach out to all people. Jesus invited the Gentiles, the social outcasts, the poor, the sick, the oppressed, tax collectors, prostitutes, and unclean people. Matthew chapter 15 verses 21 to 28 contains the ethnic controversy. The woman, she is racially a Canaanite, but politically and socio-culturally, she is described as a Gentile. She is unclean by birth, a foreigner and a female, and an untouchable. The Jews and Canaanites engaged in war and fight against each other. Matthew highlights the ethnic boundaries. Jesus left that place and went away to the district of Tyre and Sidon. Just then, a Canaanite woman from the region came out and started shouting. Matthew intentionally mentioned of a particular race as the socio-political reality. Matthew uses the term Canaanite to describe the woman for the pagan inhabitants living in the area. Her presence recalls the original struggle between the Hebrews and the indigenous population of the land. The story starts with Jesus crossing the border to Tyre and Sidon, an area of Gentile majority. Tyre and Sidon territory became enemies of Judaism and target for prophetic condemnation. With regard to crossing borders and mission, the Canaanite woman's story is a very important inspiration to work for and with indigenous ethnic minorities, tribal. The Canaanite woman's story can illuminate issues of discrimination and human dignity. The Canaanite woman's story is a biblical model for doing mission among the Rishi community in the Diocese of Khulna, Bangladesh, since it addresses the issue of inclusivity and the promotion of human dignity. Like the Canaanite woman, the Rishi community are considered untouchables, discriminated against because of their caste status. This periscope provides insights and guidelines for the local missionary church. Matthew presents Jesus as ministering to the marginalized and the outcasts, for his mission was to reach out to all people, the outcast included. The Catholic Kulna Diocese needs to follow the mindset and actions of Jesus and embrace the Rishi community. Matthew highlights the attitudes of the Canaanite woman, attitudes which are actually verbs. Verse 22, she came and started shouting, "Have mercy on me, Lord, Son of David." Then in verse 25, but she came and knelt before him, "Lord, help me." Coming, attitude of openness, kneeling, adoring, shouting, praying. Confession, help me. Profession, Son of David. Intercession, my daughter is tormented by a demon. 3 times the Canaanite woman is rejected and refused by Jesus. First, by silence. Second, by insisting that his mission is only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And third, by harshly referring to her as belonging to the dogs, the Gentiles. But the Canaanite woman remains persistent in her supplication. The Canaanite women in today's gospel expresses a marvelous faith because she is not a Jew, yet she believes deeply in the power of Jesus to heal her daughter. Her faith is admirable. Jesus is amazed by it. The Canaanite woman remains persistent in her supplication. She did not stop pleading. For what am I continually asking Jesus in my prayer? Is there anyone in our life whose faith inspires you? Does your faith inspire others as well?